How y'all are? I'm Billy Joe Green and you're watching my brand new EPK. I'm a rock and roll guitar player, and rock and roll is a derivative of blues. So I tend to play a bluesy rock and roll guitar at a very loud level and very lively. And, some people call me rambunctious, loud, proud, all that, and that's what I do, rock and roll.
I just do what I do, and I learned to play guitar really hard, and because in the old days when I was growing up, the strings were kind of high off the fretboard, and my dad's guitar was really hard to play. It was kind of brutal to play those guitars at a young age. Yeah, so
you get some strong hands, huh?
well, yeah.
We've been nominated 3 times for a Juno, but we haven't won one yet, so the struggle goes on, see? Once you win that Juno, though, it's all downhill, so we're still climbing the hill. But we've acquired also 2 Aboriginal People Choice Music Awards for Best Blues Recording, so we're very, very proud of those 2 awards.
Billy Joe Green in Canada certainly is one of the godfathers of the Aboriginal blues.
Very proud of Billy. I've known him most of his career and just about all of it as a blues player. I've always been very proud of the way Billy represents the Manitoba blues sound, you bet.
Hey, when I watch somebody like you play, I'm watching everything you do because I'm going to steal it all and tell everybody I made it up.
Sure, yes. Well, I've done that in the past, and that's how I learned how to play, is watching other guitar players, and I just mimic what they're doing and try to get the sound they're getting.
Play it as hard as I can, and I put as much emotion into my playing as I can, and that influence from how the Ojibwe drummers and singers sing their drum songs. I take that same approach when I play guitar and when I sing my music. I play guitar on a daily basis, and I try to write as often as possible, and the musicians that I work with, I like to get them involved in the arrangement of my new songs. So I guess my future plan would probably be to put out another recording, change direction just a little bit.
see them live, it's so raw and it's there, it's electric.
Blues, stems from people, down in the Mississippi Delta and Chicago having a tough life. You can hear the blues in that person's voice. Like they lived it, and now they're going to tell you about it.
He's done the time on the road. He's done the time in the bar scene.
What I see on stage is the real deal, and I think that's what people are hooking into, is that they can tell that he's lived that life.
When you were a young man, did you always stay in Winnipeg, or did you travel around the world?
Well, you know what, we came up kind of tough, so we didn't travel too much, but we had our schooling right here on the streets of Winnipeg, and there's some mighty fine guitar players in Winnipeg, Manitoba, including Jim Flatt, Albert Shorting, Lenny Brose from here, and Ronnie Halderson's from here, and I watched these cats play, and I wanted to do what they were doing. And, so, I got a lot of lessons right off the streets.
I grew up in the Lake of the Woods area, and in my early days, I heard Eric Pronto and the Swinging Tomahawks, Stanley Indian from Sabaskong Bay, Alfred Oshie from Whitefish Bay, and later on Francis Paul and Martin Tuesday. And a little bit later on, I heard the Feathermen play, and Frankie, the bassist, and I were roommates in high school. He invited me to come up and sit in, and from that I got a gig as a guitar player for the Feathermen, and this was years ago. I've never looked back. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a guitar player all my life, ever since I can remember. So that's what I am, a rock and roll guitarist.
I see you play and I hear you hit a note. There's something to be said when somebody can hit a note on a guitar and it can move you emotionally. It's the same note everyone else can hit. You have a way of digging into that note. Do you feel like that note is coming through your whole body?
You know what, I was listening to one of the tracks off my new CD, and there's a song on there called Memphis Bluesette that we recorded in Memphis, actually, 2 summers ago. And yeah, some of those notes on there that are coming out of the guitar is just, I don't know how to describe it, but it just hits you, goes through you, and out the other side. Yeah, some of those notes coming out of that track especially,
Now, on the music on the record, you were kind of exploring also even some outside sort of sides. It was very, I heard pieces on there that was very Jimi Hendrix-ish in a lot of ways. I thought.
Oh, absolutely. Like Jimi Hendrix is like the cat that we tried to emulate when we were young men. And the guitar players that I knew all studied Jimi Hendrix, and I know that you have as well. And like, he's the man. Like, he liberated the guitar in a huge way, and so yeah, I take off my hat to Jimi Hendrix every chance I get.
Influences. Let's see. I would have to say Junior Breer from the Swinging Tomahawks, Jim Flett from the Randall Trio, Albert Shorting, of course, who lived for a time with Lenny Breau. And his style made a huge impact on all of us players in the Mutual Musicians Association. Albert Shorting was like in a class of all his own. Brad Paisley is a really beautiful player as a guitarist. Fine as Tasby. Oh man, I've got one of his records that I bought off him when he made an appearance in Edmonton one time, and I still treasure that record. I play it all the time. I'm going to have to maybe burn a safe copy because I know it's going to wear out.
The audience, their mouths were open. This guy was playing. I mean, it was unbelievable.
He's like the Stevie Ray Vaughan in the native music world. And I think that pretty much sums up a lot of how he's looked upon and respected as a musician.
I always said Billy Joe Green is kind of like a cross of Keith Richards and Jimi Hendrix. If they had a baby, this Billy Joe Green would be it.
I'm Billy Joe Green. Thank you for watching my EPK. Please visit us at BillyJoeGreenMusic.com, MySpace.com/BillyJoeGreen, and big traffic on Facebook /Billy Joe Green Band. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.